everybody, it's Leela from Miss Kish Creations. Welcome back to my channel and happy holidays. Today I have a very special video planned for y'all. Taylor from Duncan Custom Airbrush reached out to myself and other Tumbler creators, and he had a great idea to do a secret Santa. The list of creators will be listed in my description below along with their videos. So what we basically did was we were given a name and we had to create a tumbler for our person, and then we would ship it out to them, and then they would have to open their tumbler on camera and record their reaction. So at the end of this video, you're going to see my person open up their gift, and you'll get to see it, and you'll get to see how they reacted to it. So I think this is super fun. It's a great idea. I like to thank Taylor, and I like to thank everybody else who participated in this to make this collaboration happen. So for the moment that I'm sure you're waiting for, let's see who I received for my Secret Santa.
In this box, Santa has selected another YouTuber tumbler maker for you to make a tumbler to and give it to on Christmas. What? So let's see who you got. I'm gonna take a peek. Oh my gosh. You're gonna love it. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. You get to make a tumbler gift for, are you ready? Are you sure? Are you ready?
I was so happy when I received Diamonds and Dust's name to make a tumbler for. Trina from Diamonds and Dust, she is amazing. She has such great style, and it kind of challenged me some to make something that fits her because we have such different styles, so it was really fun creating this tumbler. I did have to do a little bit of digging on her socials and on her Facebook group, and if you are not subscribed to her channel and you do not follow her, go ahead and follow her right now because she is absolutely amazing. While planning this tumbler, I was very nervous, and during the video you're going to see how nervous I was. It's one thing creating a tumbler, but it's another thing actually gifting a tumbler to another tumbler creator. So the nerves are real. Like always, all of my materials will be listed in my description below, so be sure to check that out, along with some coupon codes and some direct links. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started on this tutorial. So I'll be working with a 20-ounce skinny stainless steel tumbler. I chose this because I feel like everybody loves 20-ounce skinnies, so I hope she's gonna like it. This will be my color scheme for the tumbler. I'm not sure if I will be using the darker red or the brighter red from Glitter Heart Co. It's either going to be Brandy Wine or Sangria, but I'll have all these glitter colors and a coupon link for Glitter Heart Co. in my description below for y'all to use. So this tumbler, I'm going to split it in half, but I'm going to split it in half horizontally and in 3 sections. So if you measure your tumbler, mine measures 8 inches, a little over 8 inches. So I'm going to have 3 sections. It's going to be 3 inches, 2 inches, and 3 inches. So 3, 2, and 3, so the middle is going to be a little bit skinnier than the top and the bottom. I'm using my nifty cup cradle from Imagination 3D. That will also be linked in my description below. And then I'm taking a pencil, taking my measuring tape, and just marking off those lines. So 3 inches here, just lightly, and then 3 inches here. I have my little dots there. You probably can't see it, but I know that they are there. Once I have my dots, what I do is I take just random things around my craft room. So right now on hand, I have some ribbon, and I like to use index cards for specific measurements, or if I need to kind of stack them or unstack them. So this is what I like to use to make my lines. I just press my mechanical pencil against my tumbler, and then I just spin my tumbler around on my pencil. I know a lot of people, they have creative tools, or they have like the Lego block. So if you want to use that, go ahead and use that. But I like to just stack random things around my craft room. Oh boy, I measured incorrectly, so I'm going to just erase this line here and then just redo it up here. Guys, I'm super nervous for this tumbler. I just want it to be perfect, so I gotta stop overthinking and just go with it. Now we are going to add the glitter to the tumbler. I'm going to do the Mod Podge method just because all of my turners are full, so I can't use the epoxy method, but you can use whichever method you like to apply your glitter. I think I've settled on Champagne Toast, Sangria, and Diamonds from Glitter Heart Co. So this is going to be on the bottom, this will be in the middle, and then the diamonds will be on top. I know this doesn't look Christmassy, but I think with the decals, I think it's going to tie it all together. The little bit amount of time that I was on Diamonds and Dust, Trina's face Facebook group page. I got kind of like a modern vibe from her, so I'm keeping it Christmas, but I'm still keeping it modern. So this is actually stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm a very traditional Christmas color person. This is not traditional Christmas, but I think she's gonna like it, and I hope it turns out great. So let's go ahead and get my material set up, and then we'll move on with that next step. All right, just to have that crisp line, I have my painter's tape, and I'm going to start on the bottom. I always like to start with my darker colors and not my lighter colors, because whenever I place my lighter on later, if it overlaps that dark on accident, then it kind of blends. If I put this diamonds on first and the sangria overlaps the diamonds, you're going to see that. But if you do have a little bit of overlap, that is completely okay, because I am going to split this off with some thin vinyl, so don't freak out. Maybe I just need that encouragement for myself. So whenever I say don't freak out, I'm really talking to myself. Self-talk, self-motivation, I got this. Just making sure it's straight. And then to get it out of the way, I'm just going to tape off the top as well. This is my least favorite part, so I like to just knock it out. Let me put my arm in my tumbler. I always like to have this because I don't like touching the tumbler as much as I just did. I like to always hold it with my football arm or my Turner arm. And let's add that Mod Podge. Whenever you're doing the Mod Podge method for the glitter, I'm not really focusing on the thickness or thinness of the Mod Podge. That's why I like doing the Mod Podge method for some, because for me, I think it's quicker. I just slap that Mod Podge on there, and it doesn't really go on uneven like how you have to kind of worry about it whenever you do the epoxy method. So that's kind of a little tip, or I guess advice for that. And I'm only doing the side, I'm not doing the bottom yet, because I'm going to place my tumbler right side up. It's going with that champagne toast, and then add that glitter to the bottom. Ooh, that is pretty. Look how pretty that glitter is. Still, while my Mod Podge is still wet, I just removed that piece of tape. All my hard work of making it straight is now removed from my tumbler. Just like that. You can see that nice crisp line. Now what I do now is, just to make it stay into place, is I wait about 10 minutes, let that Mod Podge dry some, and then I go in with my acrylic sealer from Krylon, and I do 2 generous coats at one time with that acrylic sealer, just in case I bump this into something while I'm crafting, or I accidentally nick it or anything. It won't ruin the design or the glitter that much. So it's been about 20 minutes since I placed the Mod Podge and glitter on the tumbler. I'm going to go outside, spray it with my crystal clear acrylic coating, and then I'll see y'all soon. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes since I've sprayed my acrylic coating, and now I am going to place my Mod Podge on the middle part, which is going to be the sangria glitter, the dark red. If you feel more comfortable, you can place a piece of painter's tape. I know they make like light adhesive painter's tape. You can place that over this glitter part. This is sealed in, it's not going anywhere, but I'm going to be adding some vinyl between, so if it does overlap just a little bit, I'm not too concerned. So I'm just going to freehand this for me. And just adding that Mod Podge, and I'm adding it up top first over that other blue painter's tape to have that nice crisp line. And then whenever I go in towards that gold, I'm just doing small little streaks, nothing too crazy. And if it isn't as even as I want it to be, like I said, that vinyl is going to place between those colors, so you won't really notice all those little imperfections. Getting that sangria out, and I'm just placing that sangria in that area where I placed that Mod Podge. I'm focusing more up top than I am at the bottom at first. And now I'm sprinkling very closely to the gold, just so that glitter doesn't go everywhere, because I did add a little bit of Mod Podge on that gold area on accident. Y'all know I'm heavy-handed. Trina, if you are watching, I hope you are loving these colors. I'm actually not hating it. All right, so you can see I have my first coat of that beautiful sangria on here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there are some white spots because I did use white spray paint. That is okay. I'm going to let that Mod Podge dry for about 10 minutes and then go in with a second coat of Mod Podge. All right, my first layer of Mod Podge is dry, and so I'm just going back with a second layer of Mod Podge over that sangria dark red color, only because it's a dark color and I have that white background, so I want an even covered or a fully covered section here. So all I'm doing is just painting on that Mod Podge like I would, or like I did previously, and then adding the glitter over that Mod Podge. All right, I have my second glitter on the second section. I always forget how beautiful this sangria color is until I go to use it again. And while my Mod Podge is still wet, I'm going to peel off this piece of tape up top, and make sure you're peeling towards you to get that crisp line. You're not peeling down. All right, so I have my first section, my middle section, and now for my last section. You can also spray this with acrylic coating if you want, but I'm just going to go in right with my white section or my white area. So before I do that, I want to make sure that all of those little pieces of glitter from the sangria is off from the top. And I make sure to pat this off very, very well. For this section, I'm choosing to use a different brush. I just grabbed an angled brush. I think it's 3/4. And I'm changing to a whole new dish of Mod Podge because I don't want any of those little pieces of glitter from my brush or my Mod Podge area to transfer on that white section. So just like I did with my Mod Podge brush, I'm just placing my Mod Podge on with my paintbrush and making sure to get as close to that line as I can. Now, if you want, you can wait 20 minutes for your Mod Podge to dry underneath the sangria. But I'm just gonna go right in with it because it is a lighter color, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit towards that line and try not to overlap those colors. So right now that Mod Podge is still wet underneath that sangria, so if I do add some diamonds, that white glitter underneath over that sangria, then it might stick to that area. So just keep that in mind. Now to go in with my diamonds. This is a transparent color, you know, it's a white, it's a cheap glitter, so if you do need to do 2 coats, then go ahead and do your 2 coats, but since I do have it on a white background, I think my 1 coat is enough. And now don't forget to do that bottom area. Now that I have my tumbler completely glittered, I am going to add my Mod Podge on the bottom and then add that champagne toast to the bottom. All right, my tumbler is completely covered with glitter. Look how cute she looks so far. I'm going to let my Mod Podge dry on the tumbler for about 20 to 25 minutes. Once my Mod Podge is dry, I'm then going to take my tumbler outside and spray it with my Krylon Crystal Clear acrylic coating. I'm going to spray 2 generous coats. Remember, we have already sprayed this area, but if you want to respray it, that's okay. Make sure you are spraying very generous coats, 2 generous coats all over the tumbler. So I'll see you after that with the next steps. Welcome back, everybody. My tumbler has been sprayed and the glitter is locked in. I do have my face mask on to protect me from the epoxy. That's why I sound funny. The next step will be going in with epoxy. I mix a total of 30 milliliters of epoxy. That's 15 milliliters part A and 15 milliliters part B. I'm applying this all over the tumbler like I would any other tumbler. I'll let this epoxy spin on the cup turner for about 4 to 6 hours. After 4 to 6 hours, I will turn off my cup turner and then let my tumblers air dry or air cure for another 20 hours or so. So I will see y'all whenever my tumbler is completely cured. Welcome back, everybody. My tumbler's epoxy is completely cured on my tumbler. I've removed my tumbler from my cup turner and I did a quick sand-in with 220 grit sanding block. I made sure to use a fine sanding block and I made sure to sand very lightly just for some areas that may have had some bumps, especially the red area. You don't want to sand away any of the glitter. So now let's go ahead and place the decals on this tumbler to make it look like Christmas. So for my first decal, decal, we are going to focus on the gold. And I know Trina, she likes a lot of prints. I know her monthly subscription box, she gives y'all a lot of prints if you guys do follow her. So I just figured a nice leopard print will look great on the gold area. I did find this specific leopard print on Cricut Access. And whenever I place my leopard print, I always end up cutting it and placing it randomly on the tumbler. For me, I think that's easier. Let's place the first piece of leopard print on the bottom there. Cut off the end. And then removing that transfer tape. And then I'm gonna add the rest. For now, my leopard print has been laid. I still have to do the bottom, and I'm going to later finish up the top here. Y'all are probably thinking this does not look Christmassy at all, but don't worry guys, I'm gonna put some Christmas on here. So for the center, I am adding some snowflakes. Again, these snowflakes were found on Cricut Design Space, and I am just going to place them one by one around the tumbler. I cut out different sizes and different types of snowflakes. I ran out of some snowflakes, so I'll add the rest here soon. And then for the top of the tumbler, the white, I'm adding a Merry Christmas decal. And then I have most of my decals on my tumbler so far. And then to separate the designs, I cut out some long rectangles. I thought a nice gold would look cute with this, so let's do the top first. And this is why I waited to do the rest of the cheetah prints, because I don't want this vinyl to overlap the other vinyl, because you're going to see it like peekaboo. So I want to make sure that it does do that cool effect like that, but I don't want to have like an indentation of that other vinyl there, if that makes sense. And you see that pencil line? It's completely gone now that I added that piece of vinyl. See, she's looking more like Christmas. And then we're going to add that next rectangle on the bottom to separate the red and the gold. My decals are all laid on my tumbler. Give a nice spin and show y'all how this tumbler turned out. You can see I added the prints to the bottom. For one of my final steps, I go in with my quick coat, and this is just to seal down the vinyl. I have a lot of vinyl on here. There's a lot of tiny pieces, so I like to just go in with my quick coat, and I'm going to coat every piece of vinyl that I have, including the two rectangles I have. Because a lot of times whenever you lay that rectangle where they overlap or where they meet, those edges kind of stick up. Also with the snowflakes, those little pieces like to stick up whenever you lay that epoxy down. And once I'm finished placing my quick coat, I'm going to place a layer of epoxy over this tumbler, so I'll see y'all soon. I've epoxied the entire tumbler. I use about 20 to 25 milliliters of epoxy for this tumbler. I wanted to make sure that it had a really nice seal on here. So you can see how beautiful this tumbler turned out. I do want to mention that I know it is the winter months, so a lot of times during the winter, your epoxy doesn't cure properly, or it takes longer, or it creates a lot of bubbles. One thing that I've always done was put a little space heater near or just inside of my craft room just to warm up the room. That way it lets that epoxy thin out and it goes on that tumbler nice and smooth, and you have no air bubbles, no little crevices or anything that's uneven. That's a great tip to use every year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Miss Trina, I hope you enjoyed your tumbler. I hope you absolutely love it. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
I got my package here from this super fun tumbler swap we did as YouTube creators. I'm excited to open it. This is from Miss Kiss Creations, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like. I'm getting there. She has it all wrapped cute. I see a little bit of leopard. I'm all about that leopard Christmas. Let's see here. She wrapped it really well. Oh, it's so cute. Merry Christmas. Very cute colors. I love it. Thank you so much.